Hey Gameheads, as you might have guessed, I have been playing Subnautica for a few days now and, quietly in preparation. And that has got me thinking a lot about survival games, and checking back, it's been a while since I have talked about them. So here we are, let's go through some of the best survival games on the App Store. As usual, I will try to avoid well-known games in the genre due to the fact that you might have already heard of them. But the keyword is try, so no games like Minecraft, Terraria, they are all crossed right off the list. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. First off, we've got Subnautica. After all, it's the game that got me thinking about the entire video in the first place. Even though it's a well-known survival title, I still relatively new on mobile, so it deserves a spot here. For those who don't know, Subnautica is an open world survival game set entirely in the ocean. Think of your usual survival mechanics, gathering, crafting, building bases, but all underwater. You play as an astronaut who crash lands on an alien ocean planet and must survive while uncovering its mysteries for a way to escape. What makes it shine is the atmosphere. The ocean is both beautiful and terrifying, with colorful reefs, eerie deep sea trenches, and plenty of creatures that will keep you on edge. There's a ton of crafting, base building, and exploration, and honestly, it's hard to stop playing once you dive in. It's a paid game available on both Android and iOS, and it's worth every cent. Next up is Craft the World, a game I only just stumbled across recently, even though it's actually been around for a while, and honestly I can't believe I missed it, because it combines two of my favorite genres, survival and town building. In this game you control a group of dwarves who find themselves in an unknown land. Your job is to keep them alive and thriving by managing three core tasks: crafting weapons and materials, mining and expanding your infrastructure, and defending your settlements from threats. It's part survival, part strategy, and part expansion. Basically the kind of game I can sink hours into without realizing it. Visually it looks great, and with its very positive reviews on Steam, you already know it's the real deal. The best part is that there's a free demo, so you can try it out before committing. Up next is Flatmachine, a survival turn-based RPG where you play as a robot guardian of a post-apocalyptic city. The game is structured around daily cycles. Each day, new characters arrive at the gate of your city, and you must decide whether to let them in or fight them off. Combat is turn-based with a neat mechanic where your damage depends on stopping a moving cursor at the right moment. Kind of like Stardew Valley's fishing meter. Resting restores your health, but it also leaves the city more vulnerable. What really sets Flatmachine apart is its storytelling. No matter how hard you fight, the game leans to an inevitable bittersweet ending, making every decision feel meaningful and heavy. The game is free, though it comes with ads. Thankfully, you can unlock the full version with a one-time purchase. Definitely worth checking out if you like survival games with a bit of heart. Following up next, we have Final Outpost, a strategy-based builder survivor game where you are in charge of a group of survivors in a post-apocalyptic world. Your task is to both develop a base and fight through steadily escalating waves of enemies. At first glance, it might look similar to other survival strategy games out there, but it stands out with its isometric view and minimalist style, but it works really well. The atmosphere and progression still feel tense and rewarding. It's a highly rated game across platforms, which speak volumes of its quality. Currently there are two versions, a free demo version where you can try out the game, and a paid version that unlocks everything from the start. If you enjoy survival based builders, this one definitely worth your time. Let's keep the pace going with Crashlands 2. Yes, it's another big name entry, but since it only released this year, I had to also include it. Crashlands 2 is the beautiful successor to the original Crashlands. This time we are back in the quirky world of Wild Nope. After you guessed it, Crash landed again. But things have changed. Your corporate overlords are creeping in, draining the land of its once bountiful life, and it's up to you to stop them. The game takes everything that makes the first game fun, exploration, crafting and humor, and expands it into something bigger and bolder. It's colorful, stylish and packed with charm, but also more demanding in its gameplay, making survival and progression feel even more rewarding. If you are into open world crafting adventures, this one is a must. Crashlands 2 is available now on Android and iOS, and it is a paid game. Keeping things up with the space team, we've got Space Squad Survival. This one mixes survival gameplay with base building elements, and honestly that combo always works on me. You play as a commander of a massive spaceship that gets attacked by invaders, forcing you to rebuild it from scratch. To do that, you need to mine planets for resources, upgrade your ship, and recruit survivors to help on your journey. The game comes from the same developers behind Cookies Must Die, so you recognize that familiar art style woven into the design. Now, it's free to play, which means you guessed it, there are cooldown timers and the usual nudges towards spending money. But the premise, story and gameplay loop are strong enough that it is still worth checking out, especially if you are into survival building simulators but don't want to spend on premium titles. It's available on both Android and iOS, and like I said, it's free. Next up, we have Dysmantle. This one came out a few years back and made quite the splash when it got released. It's a post-apocalyptic survival game where you play as a lone survivor emerging from a bunker, only to find yourself trapped on an island. From there, it's your job to fight off monsters, explore the world, craft new gear, and slowly uncover clues that might help you escape. The coolest thing about Dysmantle is how it fully commits to its name. Almost everything in the world can be dismantled, that is, broken down into parts. That mechanic becomes the heart of the gameplay loop. Dismantle objects, craft better gear, which then lets you dismantle tougher objects, which leads to even better gear, and the cycle continues. It's addictive, clever, and really satisfying. On top of that, the game balances survival mechanics with a sense of isolation and storytelling, making it feel both lonely and atmospheric while still pushing you forward with a strong narrative. If you enjoy survival games with a unique core mechanic, Dysmantle is definitely worth checking out. It's paid and on all mobile platforms. Next up on the list is Puppy Playtime, an episodic horror-based survival game where you play as an unnamed former employee returning to the abandoned toy factory 2 decades after its workers mysteriously vanished. I really don't know why he would come back in the first place. You come back after a terrifying strange letter asking for help, and that's where things start to spiral into pure nightmare fuel. Now, I'll be honest, I don't know why people like to play horror games because you won't catch me there. But Puppy Playtime has earned its place at the very top of the horror survival genre. It takes a bright child-friendly setting, a toy factory, and twists it into something dark, creepy, and terrifying. Gameplay-wise, you scavenge for resources, solve puzzles, and do your best to stay alive while giant mechanical toy monsters hunt you down. The game also packs in a lot of lore for players who enjoy digging into that sort of mystery and story depth. So if you're into horror, jump scares, and the kind of game that makes you want to throw your phone across the room, this one's for you. The full 4-part series is out on mobile, available on both Android and iOS as paid episodic APKs. Next up, let's go for a bit of an old school with Forager. This is the mobile port of the well-loved PC game that came out years back, so long ago that I think it was before I started making YouTube videos. That's how far back we are going. Forager is a 2D open world survival game that feels like a mix of Minecraft and Terraria with a dash of Don't Starve minus the horror. The gameplay loop is simple but super addictive. You forage, mine, craft, and expand your world. As you gather enough resources, you get to buy new pieces of land, each filled with fresh resources, secrets, and even a bit of lore to uncover. It's fun, it's fast, and it's satisfying. I played it with my younger brother and we found ourselves hooked almost instantly, just mining, crafting, and expanding non-stop. There's also combat, so it's not all peaceful farming. You are able to battle enemies along the way. Now, here's the catch. The Android version is a little tricky. It's no longer available for the version of my device on the Play Store, a recent plague I've been very vocal against. And I'll be dropping an alternative link for the game for those who are also having the same issues in the description. Anyway, it is a paid game. Wrapping things up, we've got Alien Isolation. This is the mobile port of the legendary Alien survival horror series. Now, if you don't know about this game, I'm kind of surprised, but here's the gist. You play as Amanda Ripley, daughter of Ellen Ripley, who vanishes just before Amanda's 11th birthday. Years later, she receives a mysterious transmission and travels to Sevastopol space station, only to discover it overrun by the terrifying xenomorph species. Unlike most survival games, you are not some overpowered hero, you are just a human with almost nothing to fight back with. Your job? Survive, whether it's crafting, scavenging, sneaking through vents, hiding in lockers, or praying the alien doesn't hear your breath. You do everything you can to stay alive. This one is heavily story driven, it's tense, it's creepy, and every encounter with a xenomorph feels like a fight for your life. The mobile port will run surprisingly well, but like feral interactive titles, the publishers of this game, you would need a strong device to really enjoy it. It's a paid game available on both Android and iOS, and if you are a horror fan, you definitely have to try this one out if you haven't played the game yet. And with that, the list comes to an end. Which survival game will you be trying out? Have you played any of the aforementioned games? Let me know in the comment section, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video. Remember, our goal is to reach 20k subscribers by the end of the year and probably clock that watch time while we are at it. It's your host P-Doc, thanks for watching, I love you all, and I will see you in the next one. I'm out though.